everyone, this is Crafterman, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft, Green Plateau. So this is a story episode, and it's going to be the story of both Celine and how the Minecraft Death Star came about. Yes, there is a Minecraft Death Star. It hasn't really been seen in a long time because no one can see it without the realistic texture pack. Other than that, it just looks like a moon. But this will be the story of both the Titan Celine and the Minecraft Death Star, because she basically built the Death Star. And yeah, and I just have the realistic texture pack just for today, so you guys can see it. From the day Celine was born, it was clear she had problems. She would kill whatever living thing she saw. She burned down forests for fun. And one of her favorite hobbies was setting cruel traps for someone just to walk right into. But King Ender was in power at the time, and since she broke his laws by doing these things, he sent his goons to kill her. But when she died, not even the keepers of the dead would accept her, so therefore she was banished into the void. And in a world with as many dimensions as this, the void is essentially outer space, and that's where Celine spent a lot of her time. But as Celine got closer and closer to the moon, she noticed that there was something a bit unusual about the moon that she could only see from up close. It turns out that the moon, or at least in this world, is actually a replica of the second Death Star from Star Wars. Don't ask me why that is, but nonetheless, she continued to drift toward it as she began to plan what she would do once she got there. Soon she arrived at her destination, and right away she found out that the whole place was completely deserted. Perhaps it was just a world generation structure that no one had ever actually been to before. As she explored, she found quite a bit of cool stuff, but it wasn't quite cool enough for her. On top of being insane, Celine was also a genius redstoner, so she got to work on building the most deadly weapon in existence. Celine was building a weapon that, when used, could spray out billions of blocks of emerald TNT onto the dimension that was below the Death Star, leveling it to bedrock layer. Luckily, she did not have billions of blocks of emerald TNT to power her cannon. Until one day, King Ender's lieutenant, Kronos, also stumbled upon the Death Star, and unlike King Ender, he was totally fine with what Celine was doing. In fact, he was quite interested in the weapon that she was building. He agreed to give her the TNT she needed to power the Death Star weapon, in exchange for him being allowed to use the Death Star as a battle station for King Ender's mobs. So they got to work, mass-producing Emerald TNT. They also began to plot which dimension they should destroy first. However, just before they were about to finish filling the weapon, Celine was killed by Sandian Express. Kronos ended up finishing it himself. But since his redstone skills were nowhere near those of Celine's, he had no idea how to work the weapon. And then Kronos was later killed by Kaboominator. So, to this day, the Death Star remains untouched, but still loaded with TNT and ready to fire. Pretty freaky, huh? Yeah, but hopefully no one will ever use it. So of course, Celine ended up going to the pit where all the bad guys goes. That's why she went there, because she built the Death Star, and on top of that, killed tons of people. But that's about the end of this episode, guys, so I will see y'all later. Bye!